Oh my god, yes, out of this whole arc, this dungeon arc, whatever you want to call it, I have been waiting for this moment, and especially if you were a manga reader and knew this part was coming up, you were finally excited to see it in animation. The second sword appears for Asta, the future of Asta's new power, and also we get a little bit of Yuno as well. This episode here today, I just gotta say, I'm loving the route it's going for right now. Every single episode is getting better, and better, and like I said before in my past reviews of Black Clover, this arc, I guess you can call it, will save, I guess, the community or how people think about it, because for me, it's definitely, I gotta say it for me, I'll keep watching it, but this episode, this arc is definitely the best that we had for Black Clover yet. What's going on, guys? My name is Flame, and welcome everyone to a new episode of Black Clover. We're on episode 18, and finally the Gain enters the treasure chamber. So the last episode we got a little briefing before, the opening intro, and it was Asta versus Mars. It was kind of that epic battle fight. It shows kind of Asta, not giving up and defeating Mars a little bit. And then after the intro, we get Klaus with this kind of armor magic to seal him up. He takes his grimoire so that he doesn't use it, and now their kind of mission, that they got sent by the Wizard King, they're finally at the door for the treasure chamber. So in this treasure chamber in the dungeon, it's hidden abilities, hidden magical abilities people in the past put here. There's also, of course, treasure for money and etc like that, but there could also be traps in here as well. But their mission, they finally, they're at it. This is what they were going for. This is what the Wizard King sent them here to do. But the problem with it is that they couldn't open the door, but knowing Austin, the door was, covered in magic, he cut right through it, and then we finally see this treasure chamber. Not just any ordinary treasure chamber. Like I said before, there's hidden magical abilities that people can use, and we see that in this episode with Asta and Yuno. We get Yuno's first bit right here with this kind of, I guess envelope or whatever you call that. It is, but it holds paper, for people to read, or a spell book or anything like that. And we see Yuno's new power unfold. Now with this episode, we don't really get to see of what it is yet. I know what it is because, like I said, I read the manga. I know what the power is. But since we haven't seen it in animation, we don't really get to see or talk about it or anything like that. I won't kind of put spoils in here. I'll just talk about Asta's new ability, which we do see this episode, and Yuno's new ability I'm pretty sure we get to see next episode if you watch the ending of this episode, the previews that they always go for 19. So we're gonna see his new ability there, but Asta's new ability, like I said, I have been waiting for this moment, and it's just epic in general. Before that kind of all happens, we see Mars rise up yet again, and it's kind of weird to close into everyone, because within the Magic Kingdom, you always have one ability. If someone has fire magic or someone has wind magic, like Yuno for example, or if it's earth or wind or etc like that, Mars has two abilities, which is, his crystal magic that he uses, and also his flame recovery magic. So Klaus is really frightened by this because, mages shouldn't have two abilities right here. But, with him coming from the Diamond Kingdom and the past of the Diamond Kingdom, they put experiments on these kids, which was Mars, to have two abilities to make them be stronger and stronger, I guess opponents, or I guess mages, so that the Diamond Kingdom could eventually, I guess, rule over the Clover Kingdom. It's a little bit of a surprise right there that he gets, but it just looks like that Mars is a lot stronger of a person. He's one of these guys that will probably never use that ability, but since he did get his ass kicked from Asta, we see more and more from him and what he could actually do. So with this episode right here as well, he actually kind of battles Noelle here a little bit, and she goes down. She's kind of at a deathbed. She has she got stabbed in the chest, and Mimosa's trying to help her out. We see, I guess, the angry side of Asta trying to get him, but Asta couldn't, I guess, defeat him because Mars knew what he was going to do. Mars, since he got his ass kicked the first time, he knew what Asta was going to do and what his sword actually does. So he defeats Asta right there, but then afterwards he gets blown in a chamber that holds the second sword. This sword right here is by far, like I said, the best part of this episode. I know that I'm talking about it a lot, but if you watch this episode, you read the manga, you will know that it's pretty cool, because right here, this is another part of Asta's future right here. And I'll say it right now, it's kind of, I guess, a little bit spoilish, but this is the other sword that he gets. He doesn't get any more swords that we've seen so far in the manga, so of course he holds 2 of them now. And this sword right here is called the Demon Dweller's Sword, and this one does a lot more than the first one, 100%. So with this, he battles Mars, and you know, the abilities show up. Mars is surprised because his attacks now do not work on Asta, and Asta's trying to do his best to, you know, keep Noelle safe, and Mimosa, of course, the healer. And we do see Mimosa in this episode of her using her strongest, like, healing magic to, you know, help Noelle. And we do see a lot of a backstory of when Mimosa and Noelle were kids, so it's kind of a cool character development that we get from Mimosa of when they were kids. You know, she was the reigning star, you know, royalty. This is what a royalty mage should be like. And you know, everyone's of course, like the royals back in the day, were giving Noelle crap because she can't control her magic. They're always saying, why is she a royal if she can't even do stuff like this? And in this kind of background that we see right here, Mimosa was, I guess, the only part of her family that actually gave her cred, that, you know, I guess still loved her if you looked at that. You know, definitely, I guess, a better family member than anything else. So we do see a lot more character development coming from Mimosa, which is kind of cool. We haven't really seen a lot of her, so that's a little bit cool that we get, you know, character development from her in this episode. To the fight with, you know, of course, Asta and Mars with the Demon Dweller's Sword, of what I'm going to tell you guys right here. So this sword specifically, what it can do is, say for example, if Yuno's in a fight and he can't fight anymore, he can give his magical ability to Asta, and it will go through that sword, and he could use that magic against Mars or anything. So he's literally sucking up the power, as we see him doing that with Noelle this episode, is him taking her water magic, it goes in the sword, and he's using Noelle's magic and, I guess, the sword to use against Mars. So that's what, I guess, the Demon Dweller's Sword does. And if a lot of people had questions about that, or if you watched the episode and wondered what that was about, that's what it does right there. So it's a pretty cool development of Asta's power here for the future, and it was just so sick seeing it in animation. Like I said, just like, I guess, reading something and then you see it in animation, it just completely blew my mind. And we kind of get like an Asta Mars fight yet again, but the problem with this fight right here is at the very end we see Asta get stabbed by one of Mars's crystals in the stomach, and then it ends the episode off right there. And finally, out of all of this, that's a perfect ending, instead of something just like being like a dialogue in it ending. That was a perfect ending right there. And with this episode, it was just beyond fantastic. And with next episode right here, we'll see Yuno's I guess true identity, or his future of what he got through that magic in the treasure chamber there. So it's kind of Asta's turn here, and then we'll get Yuno next episode. This episode here today, guys, I absolutely loved it. I'm so glad that, like I said, it kind of before in my reviews, it was always a back and forth kind of thing. Like, it was a good episode, horrible, good episode, horrible, and now I'm pretty sure it's 3 good episodes in a row, in my opinion. No, that's just my opinion, but I was just happy with it today. It's such a good arc. It was such a fantastic arc, and it's one of these, you know, anime now that I'm very happy for every single week for it to come out. And with the episode here today, I'm going to give you guys a 9.5 out of 10. It's definitely an episode where I can just keep watching back and forth throughout the week till next Tuesday. Highly recommend that you guys definitely go and check it out. Hope you guys all have a fantastic day. Thank you guys so much for checking out my review here yet again for Black Clover. Like I said, I'm excited for next week. And also, before I kind of go with this, you know, we definitely see the ending of this arc next episode if you do watch the preview. So I guess next Tuesday right here, it's going to be the finale of the dungeon arc. But let me know down below what your guys' thoughts and opinions are, you know, I guess with this episode. Like I said, it was just brilliant. I absolutely loved it, and I just cannot wait to watch more of it. Checking out my review. Much love. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff, and we'll see you guys next week for another Black Clover review. Have a wonderful day.